Where to Ski. I'm your host, John Morgan. Today we go to Sweden. Grab your skis. We're headed to Åre. Åre is one of Scandinavia's oldest and best ski areas and known as the best ski resort in Sweden. It's even been listed as one of the world's best ski areas. Since it opened in 1910, it's been the host of multiple FIS World Championships and is a regular stop on the World Cup Tour. While Åre is about in the middle of Sweden, kind of far away from the major cities, it does have a local airport and it's relatively easy to get to. Once you're there, it's stunning. 3 towns that make up Åre, right between the mountains and Lake Åreskutan. Since the mountains spill into town, all the hotels, restaurants, pretty much everything are right there. One hotel even has its own lift. It's convenient for groups and families. Everyone speaks English. It's awesome. On to the skiing. There are more than 1,000 acres of terrain served by 47 lifts to explore over the 3 areas. Much of the skiing is below tree level, and those spectacular views of the lake just never quit. The main ski area has the greatest variety of slopes, while the Björnen area has been designed for mostly beginners and families. And yes, there's powder. There's easy access to an expansive off-piste terrain with skiing for every level. Today's guest is Lars-Börje Eriksson. Björnen is a former member of the Swedish alpine ski team. He won a bronze medal in the Super G at the 1988 Winter Olympics in Calgary. He has 2 World Cup victories, one in Super G, one in GS. Since then, he's been a board member in private companies, public science parks, incubators, as well as on the World Alpine Championship and World Cup organizing committees. He's also led the Sustainable Destination Development Åre all year round. Björnen knows skiing. He really knows Åre. After this quick break, let's talk to Björnen, take a trip to Åre, and see what makes this place so special and see how it skis. Gear up for untracked lines and deep days. Backcountry has your go-to ski and touring setup ready. From avalanche packs to fast skins, their gearhead experts tested all in the wild. Use code WHERETOSKI, all one word, at checkout for 15% off one full-price item. Some exclusions apply. Let's make every run count. That's Backcountry at backcountry.com. Björnen, welcome to Where to Ski. Thank you for joining us today to talk about Åre. And I'm going to butcher your language. I know I am. There's enough Swedish in here that I know I'm going to butcher it. So keep me straight. Did you grow up in Åre? Åre?
Yeah, no, I didn't. My mother is from Åre, and she was a ski racer. So I spent a lot of time there. I had my grandparents there. And after elementary school, I moved to Åre to ski, basically, to ski gymnasium, and then to live and practice my business and living there. So
you've been there for a long time then, basically since you've been a child. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
See, everyone in town knows you.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's it like driving into Åre? And it's a huge place, actually. It goes all the way from Duved and Tajefall all the way to Åre. And you got the lake on one side, you got the mountains on the other. It must be spectacular.
Yeah, it's really nice coming in. The last 10Ks, I would say, when you start seeing the mountain, you actually come down a hill and have a slight right turn, and then the mountain just appears, and it's pretty flat around Åre. So the mountain is very articulated, so to speak, so it stands out from the surroundings, and it feels big, and then obviously the lake on the left side, looking down on that, and it's a beautiful area, and so it's a homecoming for every skier.
I bet, and I've heard a lot about it. I've never been there, but it sounds really cool. I've heard you can actually get on a lift right from the village square and go all the way to the top of the mountain without taking your skis off. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. The trams there that's been there since 1976. It takes you all the way up to almost the top, but it's about 1,000 meters vertical drop. But if you're in the center of the village, you can also take the old train, the from 1910, and that takes you a good halfway up the mountain, the lower part of the mountain, and from there you can then access the rest of the area. And it's a quite nice, history of skiing tour there to take that tram, and it's one of these, like Swiss type alpine ski trains with that goes really slow, but it's like a time travel to take.
Does it have the cogs and it's like a funicular type thing? Goes up?
Yeah,
That's
funicular
cool.
type of thing. It's a train, going on a railway, and it's with the wires, and one pulls, the other one, goes down. It's a
That's really old school.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
1910.
1910. What about the people that live in Åre? Is it a mix of hospitality people and people that are passionate about skiing, and then some remnants from, say, the copper mining days, which is, I think that's where Åre came from.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a city which or a place to live that based on the mountain, and then had the pilgrim trail for pilgrims to go to Norway, and the church is from 12th century, so it's really, really old. And then obviously there was a mine, as you said, and also obviously farming and hunting and forestry. So there is a few, not too many, but a few older families in the valley. But then a lot of people has moved in, basically because of their interest in skiing, and obviously then trying to make a living, like all crazy skiers do. They move to the skiing, and then they try to make a living. So there's a lot of entrepreneurs, and a lot of people that has moved in, and over the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years, there's been a little bit of a change, because Åre has become so popular or attractive from a living point of view, that with the new digital era, people can move there to work remote, and move there because of their interests and quality of life. So that's actually been quite interesting to see these last 5 to 10 years.
Has it changed? We've had the same thing at a lot of places in the U.S., a lot of resorts in the U.S. People moved out, especially during the pandemic, to work remote, and they stayed. Mm-hmm. Has that changed Åre a lot?
It is changing Åre a lot. There's more people, obviously living there all year round. There is other, interests, conflicts maybe coming up as well. That people who move there for life quality necessarily don't want the tourism to grow, because it infringes on their own interests. So I think there's new challenges coming up, but in overall, it's a very positive development of the municipality, society of Åre, that is driven by the interest around skiing, which is quite fascinating, and the love of the sport, alpine skiing.
I think that extends not just to Åre, but to a lot of resorts, that they're changing, they're evolving, and it's just something we have to work with as we go forward in terms of us being part of sport and going to resorts.
Yeah. You have to adopt, and to have your ear on the ground and to see what the needs and the challenges are to adopt to that. And I think Åre is good at that.
Okay. So I don't always think of Åre as one of the top ski resorts in the world, but it comes up in the list of the top ski resorts almost every ranking. It's, I've never been there. I'm dying to go there. It's spectacular. Has the town and the lift company made huge investments in the equipment to be able to bring it up to, you're talking about the tram from 1910. I assume that's sort of an anomaly, that there's a lot of new building going on and new lifts, things like that, new equipment.
Yeah, it's over the past 10 years, I think the lift company alone has invested 750 million Swedish kroners, which is about 75 million US dollars. And only during the last 4 years, they invested $20 million in the ski area alone. And I know that they have a big development plan coming up, also with new lifts, with new accommodation activities and stuff like that. And over the past 20 years, Åre has also developed to become an all year round ski resort with a lot of activities during the summertime as well. So yes, there has been huge investments and also returns for the municipality and for the companies and people living there.
Well, let's get on to the skiing. That's what we're really here to talk about. You've skied this mountain your whole life. But let's talk about advanced skiers to start with. What is good up there? How would an advanced skier ski this hill? And it's a little bit different because it's so far north. It's not north of the Arctic Circle, which gives it, total darkness. So you've got light all season long, but it's a little limited, I assume. So you have to plan around that a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like the early season starting in November sometimes, it can get, we have light between 10 and 2 o'clock. But there's a lot of artificial lights in the ski resort. So you have in the early mornings in the central ski resort, you have like the advanced ski area with the World Championship 8 lift that we call VM8, which is the national arena for alpine skiing in Sweden, where you have the World Cup arena, which is fully lit by artificial light, and you have 4K TV possibilities with the lights. So you can always ski. You can actually ski all year round. No, not all year round, but the 24/7 during the winter season. Even though during the darker period, which is from November, December to end of January, then lights start to come back, and then in the end of the season, because it's really long. I mean, you can ski in Åre until beginning of May. Then you have, sunlight almost the whole day, and you can ski midnight skiing almost.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, the springtime is a very good time to come to Åre, because it's a season which you normally don't access in other areas. So it's a long season, and March and April are really, really nice. We've had all the snow. It's the whole mountain is covered. You can ski everywhere, and with skiing everywhere, I mean like literally everywhere. It's very you have such a big variety of skiing options on the mountain in the later season. You have the lower part, which is totally covered with artificial snow, and you can ski from November. And you have high-speed quad lifts, and you have grooming, which is fantastic. And yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of weather it is because it's below tree level. So that area is really, really nice for advanced skiers and for beginners because we have the whole range of ski runs for that suits everybody, and it's very, very good for families and for kids. So you have that all that variety. And then you have the ski area above the tree line, which is heavily depending on weather, and that area is fantastic during the spring skiing, and it's just that's why I think Åre comes up on the list of the best ski resorts of the world all the time. In combination, I would say, with a fantastic village with some 60 restaurants, with entertainment, with shops, and with what you can expect from a world-class ski resort.
So what's it like skiing off the top? Say you're in February. Now I'm going to butcher this name. Åreskutan?
Yeah, Åreskutan.
Close, not quite.
Yeah, okay.
I've heard that going off the top there can be spectacular, and that you can pretty much go any direction you want. You may not get back to town if you go the wrong direction, but
yeah, you can go. You can go to the mining town on the other side, and take like a snowmobiles back. That would be going the opposite direction. You can go straight down to the village and get really, really nice off-piste and big mountain skiing. And yeah, you can go east, you can go west. It's like you say, you come to the top, which is basically the top, and you can ski any direction before or after having a Swedish fika at the little hut we have up there, and have a coffee and a cinnamon roll or something else.
That's always important. That's always important.
Yeah. Very important. Swedish fika.
I've heard something about a tour to Husa. What's that like?
Yeah, that's what I said. Going the opposite direction then towards the village. You go north basically, and Huso is one of the old mining towns that surrounded Åre, and yes, it's a really nice off-piste skiing, about 500-meter vertical drop to the tree line, and then it's another 500 vertical drop in the trees. And it's an adventure skiing excursion, I would say, that sometimes can offer some really good powder runs. And on the other side in Huso, they have one lift and maybe two ski runs, but it's a really good one, and you can eat your lunch there, and then as I said, you get towed back by snowmobiles or by piston bullies, or
that sounds pretty cool, actually, just going off into nowhere. Do you need a guide for any of this? Does it help to have a guide?
It always helps to have a guide, I say, but when you've done it, you actually don't need a guide. But first time, I would definitely recommend to have a guide, and the guide would also know where to go, where to find the best runs, depending on the previous week's wind direction and snowfalls and all of that, and or it's not particularly dangerous mountain, so there's no. I mean, there's always avalanche risks, but we're not a dangerous mountain like that. So you can
Don't have
that's
the
why
big crevasses, say like Mont Blanc and up in that area, which
no.
got to be really careful of, and you absolutely need a guide for that type of stuff. But avalanche is a risk anywhere, and you just
they're always a risk. So wouldn't want to say that you can go everywhere without a guide. I think a guide would always be nice. But for somebody like me, who was grown up on the mountain, basically as a guide myself. No, I'm not. But I ski. I can ski wherever I want to,
I would.
basically, with very low risk. So.
What's the snow like? Is it? I assume it's not really light powder, but does it get heavy? What's in general during February and January, February? What's the snow like?
On the top, I would say it's packed powder, fine grained cold snow, which is super nice. In the lower areas, it can the temperature is very depending on the wind direction. If we have northwest, it's basically pretty cool weather, and then you have drier, colder snow. But if it drives towards west and southwest, you can get really wet snow, especially in the lower areas. So it varies a lot. If I would compare it with something, it would be something like with Whistler, where you can have very wet weather and you can have also dry weather. So it varies depending on the wind direction. And it's not so often, but when we have easterly winds, we normally get nice dry powder as well.
That sounds great. And it sounds like the bottom of the mountain below tree line is pretty well snow farmed, so that it's groomed, it's pretty consistent, and it won't make much difference there. And you're not going to be up to your knees in really heavy damp stuff.
No, it will never be bad there. They also prepare these runs every night. So and all of them are groomed because it's really a lot of attention is put on making them as good as you can. And obviously that's depending on the weather. So if you have warm weather and no, cold minus degrees, that would be a challenge as well. So we have a couple of guys who are basically also used to get assignments going abroad to actually be part of preparing racing runs and stuff like that, because they're so good at running the piston bullies and the machinery, right? So because of the challenges.
Plus, they like to stay up all night and get it done, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They start when we go to the restaurant and they go home when we go out skiing again.
How long are the runs there from the top? Is it you skied all over? Is it is it as long as some of the stuff you'd see in the Alps or say in Colorado, or is it shorter?
It is shorter, definitely. But on the same hand, we have a World Cup downhill, which is about 3 kilometers long and 800 or 900 meters vertical drop. So you can really find those long runs as well. And but you could say like in the bottom part where below the tree line, it's 500-600 meters vertical drop, and it's as its longest and different terrain, obviously, but the runs are long enough for experts to like me to become really tired. But so for an intermediate skiers, the runs are long enough to make them in one or two legs. So I don't. We're not as long, and it's not, the mountain isn't as big as the Alps, but the runs are nice, and they're really really well groomed, and they are in a great variation.
That sounds pretty good. 3 kilometers is long enough. That's enough to get some real burn in there and know you've made some turns.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing it at like 60 or 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
What about, we talked a little bit about beginners and intermediates. How's the instruction there? The ski school, I would imagine, is pretty good.
Absolutely. Yeah, first class. They have a long history of ski instruction in Åre. They have a lot of families and kids taking care of them, and I think they have dedicated areas for kids and families, and you don't have to worry about that. You'll be well taken care of, and the if you want to go on off-piste skiing and you want to have more experienced and advanced guides, you can find those as well. Not only at ski lift company, but also at external companies specializing in adventure winter life, so to speak. So you can get really, really well-known, experienced guides who's been on the World Cup tour and been on the freestyle tour and the big mountain tour, and because it's a melting pot for skiers, and a lot of the famous skiers comes from Åre or lives in Åre. So it's totally skiing.
Is there any like snowcat skiing or heli skiing around there that people take advantage of?
You can organize it. It's not like your everyday product. It is accessible, but it's a really niche product that you can get organized by these adventure companies. What is growing in popularity is obviously alpine ski touring, with skins to go up and ski down on real alpine equipment. And there's some really nice mountains not far away that takes you to the total wilderness and in national park areas and stuff like that. So I would say that's more in line with Åre, and it's also more, that's the kind of type of activity that the remote workers moving to Åre is favoring in their lifestyle. So there's a lot of alpine ski hiking.
That's gotten very, and all over the world, more and more people are doing that, putting skins on and going out, various places. It's a lot of fun.
And Åre is really super accessible, that you can go up with the lift and get almost to the top, and then just take your skins on and walk those last 100 meters of vertical drop, and then go down on the east or the north side or the west side, and then have a 500 meter vertical drop hike up, and you'll be back in. You would go. It would feel like you're in the wilderness in Alaska, totally alone, but 500 meters up, and then you're in the middle of the civilization again. So it's really accessible that way, and easy, and low risk, and it's really super high value, I would say. That's the strength of the mountain, is that you have the access to all these type of skiing. So like on a normal day, or on a perfect day for me, I would start at 8 o'clock in the central national ski arena, and have hard-packed, well-groomed ski. I would ski my GS skis, and I would do 5 or 6 really fast runs with high speed and high G-force turns, and I'll be, taking my breath in every
Big
every turn.
big long arcs.
Yeah, kind of super G skiing that I was known for. And then I would go up to the La Gondola restaurant halfway up, and I would take a Swedish fika with a cinnamon roll and a cup of tea with some friends and talk have a little chat. And then, I would go over to the central ski area just above the village, and there's some really super nice lines that I like to ski there in the old World Championship area, World Cup area, which was where they had the World Cup in the 70s with Stenmark and with Gross and Tony and all of those guys, Phil Mayer and Steve Mayer and those, yeah. So ski that area again with the long skis, and then I would go back to car change skis and have like a super carver, something like with 19-meter radius and 178, maybe 172 length, and then I would go ski the upper groomed part and just cruise around and have a good time. Have lunch, early lunch, because then you don't have to wait in line or anything. So you have lunch between 11 and 11:30 because you were up at 8. So you can have that early lunch, and then after lunch you go down and you change skis to your ski touring or your fat skis, and then you go up to the top of the mountain, and then you go off-piste skiing in the afternoon, and then you go to an after ski and have a beer and brag about all your runs.
You would have lost me somewhere about right about lunchtime with that schedule. That's pretty good. That's a pretty aggressive schedule, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got
yeah,
a hell of a quiver of skis.
that's like a 7,000 meter vertical drop day.
That's okay. Do you ever get weathered out? I assume that there's some days that the top is totally not skiable.
Yeah, that's that too. I mean, like the winds can be really really high, and then you're not permitted to go up there, even though the lift could go or something like that. You're not permitted to go up. So yes, there is days where you get weathered out, and but then you have the lower area to ski.
Yeah.
Uh, and normally, I mean, like you don't get weather out near as much in the end of the season as in the early season, obviously. So like in March and April, there's less days when you can't get up to the top part.
So it sounds like the best time of year to go there is March, April. That time frame would be, if you were going to pick a week to go to Åre, it'd be March or April. It wouldn't be January.
No. If I would pick, I would go like week 11, 12, 13, somewhere in around there, depending on where the Easter is and stuff like that. But from week 10 and like 5, 6 weeks, that's the best area in my opinion.
I would assume the crowds are almost non-existent except during the big holidays. Am I right about that, or am I?
Yeah, basically, I mean, like New Year's and the Swedish school holidays, which is weeks 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are and the Easter holidays. Those are the when it's packed, but still, I would say like the maximum time you would stay in a line at that time is between 5 and 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's considering some of what goes in some other places in the world. That's nothing.
Yeah, so it's really well built out. It's a huge capacity, and you can always find areas which are less, crowded, obviously.
Now, so not everyone skis. and then you got a great town there, or you need a day off. You've done the program you just outlined where you just trashed your legs after that day. And what do you do in town? There's lots to do there. I just you probably know better than anyone what's really sort of fun to do in town.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, depending on who you are, obviously, but yeah, the shopping, you can go do that. That's not like shopping a week, but it's a good afternoon going into the evening and to walk around and have a sit down in some of the cafes or the bars or the restaurants to yeah, refreshing a little bit. That's obviously always something interesting. There's some great sports shops. There's some local crafts shops. There's yeah, a variety of shops doing that. And then obviously other type of activities are big. Cross country skiing. We have a really nice, several really nice areas for cross country skiing. Whether you want to do it in the forest or if you want to do it on above the ski line, tree line. You have opportunities to do that. You can even ski on the lake. Go swimming at the big hotel in the center of town. There are several spas. Yeah, there's quite a variety. You have dog sledding, you have snowmobiling, you have yeah.
Is there a hockey team in Åre?
Not in Åre, but we have a hockey arena in Järpen, which is 25 km away from where we have some really famous hockey players.
I know you do. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, exactly. So famous goalie of the New York Rangers, Lundqvist.
Lindquist is famous, and Backstrom is famous.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, we have some local stars in hockey as well. So,
what's your favorite meal in Åre? It's the Swedish food can be different than U.S. I know you can get burgers and things like that in town, but you don't go somewhere and not try what's local.
Yeah, what's local. Yeah, there's a lot of good restaurants in Åre, and the entrepreneurs of the restaurant industry in Åre they're fabulous. They're really, really good. So there's a couple of favorites that I have. Obviously, burgers is one. So Broken Dreams, they have a Texas burger, which is my favorite. I always take that one. Then we have Versailles, which is a bistro, French type bistro with everything from local fish and local reindeer and all of that to pizza. But my real favorite there is their entrecote with the truffle butter. Oh, that's really. That's one of my favorites. And then you have like the old, the real old hotel. They rebuilt the restaurant a couple of years ago, which is a absolutely fantastic environment to go to and maybe have the seafood platter thing with the lobster, with the shrimps, and with champagne and stuff like that. So. Yeah, there's and you can go on and on. There's more how you say that, more modern type food with this medium size plates which you eat like 4 or 5 of. We have supper, which is in a really nice old building that's been superbly restored. It was an old old part of the hospital where they had the staff, and then they moved the whole building in one piece down to the center and made a restaurant out of it.
Well, that's
really
cool. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool building.
I'd love to, when I come there, I'd love to try reindeer. Always try something new. It's different. You don't get that very much.
No.
Get out of Scandinavia.
Should have absolutely tried the reindeer, and then with chanterelles, and and then you should also have the röding, which is a salmon type lake freshwater fish, which is like a trout, but it's red in the
it's a landlocked salmon. I bet that's really good.
Yeah, that's super nice, and you should eat that with the sauce in the local style, which is made by cream and onions, and also with a sweet cheese, which is called messmör. It's like a buttery cheese with a very vanilla type flavor, and it's really special from the Jämtland region where we are in Åre, and so together with the mashed potatoes, so that's a super nice local dish.
Okay, so now I know what.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting hungry. Björnen, I've found that people that have skied at the highest levels internationally they've got drive and they've got will to win, but they also have a passion for the sport in the mountains that is really infectious. Can you talk about how you communicate some of that passion to people you run into? And I'm sure you run into people all over the place, and just tell them how spectacular Åre is and the sport is.
Yeah, I mean, I usually tell the story about my mother. My mother grew up in Åre and started racing and was part of the 1954 World Championships, and she did the downhill, and she then later become Swedish champion, and also participated in the Cortina Olympics in 1956, which is 70 years from Cortina Olympics in February this year. So I usually tell that story, and then also that basically that passion that they had for skiing is what is continuously developing skiing in Åre. And I think this is the same way everywhere you go in the world. You have the history and the legacy, and this is what unites us with. My mother always says, when I say, "Oh, I did a podcast with John Morgan," she said, then normally she would say, "Is he a skier?" And I would say, "Yeah, he's a skier." Okay, then his family, because no matter what the weather, we go out skiing, and we like the mountains, big or small, or we just enjoy that. So that's kind of storytelling about skiing and what skiing means to you. That's a normal topic.
That's a great story. That's a great story, and you're right. It is a big family.
Yeah, it is. And then obviously, I get a lot of questions about my career, and there's some nice stories about that as well.
That's why I started this podcast. People would always come up to me as I figure I knew where to go skiing, and I'm like, well, I can't tell you where to go. Every place is different. They've got different characters. Yeah. That's why I started this podcast. Björnen, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about skiing and life in the mountains and how to visit Åre. And hopefully I got the pronunciation right.
You're doing good. Thank you very much for inviting me, and hope to see you skiing in Åre sometime. And then if you come, you call me, and then we go skiing.
Yeah, and you'll beat me into the ground.
Yeah, no problem.
You're one of those tough mountain goats that'll just take me out and destroy me. But if you're in Åre, you might see him anywhere on the mountain in the winter, but you'll probably see him doing fast laps in the competition arena first thing in the morning. Yeah. You probably won't keep up with him, though. If you like our podcasts, please share them and subscribe on our website, wheretoski.org. It's free. Stay connected to us to listen to perspectives on some of the world's best mountains from the legends that live there. Again, thank you, Balan. Thank you all for joining, and thanks to our partners, and thanks to Grits for the music.